Fancy man.
Yeah, picking up the glass, bro.
That's it, man. This is our go fast parts.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Look at that pile, guys.
Look at this, guys. That's what I'm talking about. If you're in the need for speed and to lose some weight and have some fantastic fiberglass parts for your hot rod, be sure to check out VFN Fiberglass, man.
Yeah, man.
And Fragile.
Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile.
Yeah, they're best the business.
That's
man.
it, man. That's
They're
it.
good.
So VFN, what you've got one of their hoods.
I got their hood. You got their cowl, which was awesome, and you got another cowl hood
Yep.
that we might make in the future, and a front end and a door. So
Dash.
But I keep on forgetting about your dashboard.
Oh man,
yeah.
we get home, we'll show the people what all's going on. So,
Yeah, man.
So heck yeah, guys. So big shout out to VFN. Always, guys, make sure when you're picking up fiberglass parts, be sure to check over all your parts, pull them out,
That's what we have to
and
do.
then sign. Don't sign first. But all of ours were good to go. And when we get home, we'll let you guys see what all it is we got going on. So let's hammer down Jesse and let's get to JC.
Sounds good, man.
I don't know about you guys, but when you see parts like this, VFN fiberglass components, I feel like I'm working on a model car right now. You guys know how all the packaging is done on those things. And check this, man, above and beyond VFN. I like it. None of my parts was damaged. They all look fantastic. I can't wait to unwrap this deal. Alrighty guys, I've got to do a voiceover right here. I do apologize. My microphone's just kind of stopped working right here, so I do apologize. So anyways, big shout out to VFN Fiberglass. Man, we're working with them and we're wanting to show some weight differences in this video and comparison between our original steel doors that's on this car and our steel front end compared to their fiberglass doors and their fiberglass front end and hood and their dash and all that stuff. So our goal with this is to show some differences here in weight, and also plus to explain to you guys what it is we're doing. Our plan with the car is to make these panels to where they can come on and off, and we can also switch back and forth between steel panels or fiberglass ones depending on what classes we're running in. Okay, some classes, you know, depend on if it's especially the street car stuff, they got a lot of unlimited irons classes. They're really strict. You got to have iron doors and iron front end type of deal. But then in most heads up racing, it's literally as long as the quarter panels are steel, most of the classes are okay with that. So that's the goal there. Also, we've got some brand new flags and stuff that we're going to be running at our race tent while we're in the pits. If you guys are interested in getting one of your company logos on our flags, be sure to let me know, and we'll see what we can work out there, and we'll get you guys advertised at the track. So let's get into the episode here, and thank you guys for joining in. All right, guys, so what y'all are going to be seeing in today's episode is we're going to be mounting the doors first, and then we're going to mount the front end. Okay, why I'm doing that and what my thinking is on that is this. We need to figure out what our gaps are going to be in between the doors and the fenders. So we need to go ahead and get the doors figured out first, okay? And then we can mount the front end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a different episode for mounting the windows in it, okay? We want to do the windows last. That way we've got the doors figured out where they're going to be at, where they're going to be finalized, and the front end is finalized before we put the glass in it. That way it don't mess any of that stuff up. So let's get the doors on it, and then we'll get the front end on it. Let's hammer down. Alrighty guys, let's hammer down. And one of the first things I like to do is just to get the insides cut out here. I like cutting this out into a big opening. Some folks fill this in with like a carbon fiber panel or maybe an aluminum panel, but for me personally, I don't see any reason to doing that. Leave it open so you can work on the hardware on the inside of it. And let's move on here and get rid of that weight. Now let's start working on fitting the door to the car. All right, guys, so we are working on the driver's door right now, and we're at the very, very early stages of hanging the door. So we're trying to figure out what all we need to trim on it in order for the door to actually fit into this door opening. If this makes sense, when you get a fiberglass door, most of the time there's a little bit extra material in odds and ends areas, and you got to trim on them a little bit just to get it to kind of go where it needs to go. But right now we're finding those spots. We're gonna cut on them or sand on them, and we'll keep fitting it until we get it to really sink in there where we want it at, and then we can go from there. So right now we've got a spot up here it's hitting, and we're gonna cut on it, slap it back up there, see where we are, and then once it starts fitting pretty good, then what we'll do is we'll add the latch mechanism first, and that way it'll hold itself and click in back here, and then we can start building those arms and stuff that goes in up here at the hinge. So you guys just sit back and we'll get after it here. All right guys, we're gonna take the door off now. I think we've got everywhere it needs to be trimmed on. Just that this one wasn't too bad at all. The only place we had to trim on was right here, this spot here, and here. And of course we had to cut out our lock and bolt hole and stuff right there, but it's coming on nice right there. We may end up having to do some trimming down here on this edge, but this door is fitting pretty good. So let's get this latch mechanism right here. We've got to get this bad boy bolted in here, and this is what's going to lock on to that striker bolt right there, and this will help hold the door up there for us while we make the rest of the mounts. Really come on with it. Okay, that's good. All right, so now it's time to get the lock mechanism actually attached to the door. We're just using a door latch mechanism, a universal one from Amazon. They're pretty cheap, not too bad, around 40 or 50 bucks, something like that. And it gives you a pair and the lock and lug that actually mounts on to the car as well. All right, so now we're moving on to the hinges. This is a couple of tricks here I've learned over the years of mounting these things. This is a kit from Quartermax. They work fantastic. But with my doors, you guys can see there's a hump right there in the center of my door, and we can't mount that thing as it is from factory. So we split it in half and spread it apart. This is a fantastic thing to do no matter what is going on. Spread your hinges apart. Spread them as far apart as you possibly can. This will make the door latch way stronger, and when you go to open the door, it won't sag on you. So you guys can now see I'm making the base plates that's going to bolt right on to my factory location. So now I can actually swap out from steel doors to my fiberglass doors anytime I want, and that's a really, really good thing for me because of the different things that we want to do with the car. And you guys see we're chopping down the, basically your hinge bars there to get all this stuff matched up, and it's going to start coming together here. So yeah guys, we're getting things tacked up, we're getting things fitted, and it's coming along here.
Whoa!
All right guys, so now let's talk about door handles. All right, so I made some lightweight handles for these. These are all handles that I made, and I'll show you what the bracket looks like. It's on the back side of this, and I'll show you what the mechanism looks like. So all it is just a piece of tube that I flatten out the ends over here, and I'll show you guys how you do that. And so they're just a straight shot up to here to this handle and stuff. So let me show you what those pieces look like, and it's all stuff that you can make on your own. All right, so you can use tabs like this that mounts on there, and then you can weld you a bolt onto it, something like that right there, and that's what goes right here. And then you can literally just bolt that handle to this, and then use washers and stuff to shim it out if you need to, and all that, and it works pretty good as basically a foundation there. It spreads the load out pretty good, and then it works pretty strong to hold your handle there. So that's what you can do there, and that takes care of your handle and your linkage. All right, so what I'm talking about on flattening out your linkage and stuff there, you see how this is a round tube? See how I just put this in a vise and literally just flatten it out? You can use a press, and then you can round the ends off and everything and put nice hardware in it, and it makes for really, really nice bracketry and also linkages and stuff like that. So you can see I done that same mentality on my window net, and that same thing is on my linkage there. It's really cheap and really affordable to do, and it's nice and clean. All right, guys, so this is a show example of how heavy our doors are and stuff on this thing. And this thing has got, this is a stock door, okay? It's got the real door panels on it, door handles on it. The window cranks work. It does have glass in it. It's got the tri-glass in it. And what this thing is bouncing around.
Yep, it's bouncing in between 83 and 84. Right now it's showing 79.
Yeah, it just depends on where I've got this thing sitting.
Yeah, but it finally stopped around 83 and 84. So.
Okay. All right, so there you guys go. So I'm gonna show y'all what a lightweight door looks like, so you guys can kind of see how big of changes we're making here. So,
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man, let's look at it, Jesse.
All right.
All right, guys. So we don't have our Lexan window in it yet, but that's super lightweight. So at least you can get an idea here of what we're working with. Jesse, what was the weight there? 17 pounds?
17 pounds. See if it still does that. Yep. There it is. 17 pounds.
So yeah, that's with the latches, that's with the hinges on it, that's with the door handles on it, and the locking mechanism, and all that stuff. And I've got the screws laying down in there for the window and stuff. So that's pretty wild amount of weight savings right there.
Big change, man.
And the nice thing on this, now check this out. You can literally just pick it up just like that.
It's crazy.
You can ask Jesse, that other door.
No, that's a two-man job right there, especially in tight quarters.
That's a man better, right? All right, guys, so we're going to start working on mounting the grills. I got hooked up with Ames Performance, and I'm using stock 67 GTO grill inserts, and I'm trimming them and modifying them down and bolting them to this fiberglass front end here. And this is kind of like a half in between original and race car look is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Working on GTO right now. I've got Jesse on the 55. It's been a Pontiac day.
All about the Pontiacs, man. I'm about sick of them.
I found that you really like putting Pontiac headers on, that's for sure.
Oh, Lord. You Pontiac boys, you've all got some issues, man.
Yeah, Pontiac headers ain't no joke. You think a small block Chevrolet's bad, put a set of Pontiac headers on. Shoot.
When it comes to headers, just put me on a 302 Ford. I'm fine. And I'm a bow tie man.
Yeah, big block Chevrolet. Let's stick to that or Hemi.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. So we're working on my car. Jesse's working on the 55. I got the grill and stuff mounted. It's done. Now I'm working on the headlights. I've got that side over there mocked up and tacked in. Jesse, it turned out pretty trick looking.
Yeah, man, I like it. Them lights are going to turn out good, man.
They're pretty. They kind of got that transformer look to them a little bit.
Yeah, they're white. They're different looking, especially when they get some glow in them.
I think when they turn on, they do this.
Oh man, that'll be trick, dude.
Kind of like a loading deal. I'm just wanting to do something different. Everybody does the same thing. These kind of got a crazy look to them. If I don't like them, we'll put P3s back in or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think those are going to look pretty cool. I'm cutting these holes out right now. It's pretty simple. You just drill a hole in and start cutting with a little Sawzall blade and getting after it. So that's what we're doing now. I was happy with the way the grills turned out. Those turned out pretty true.
Yeah, that's sharp.
Modifications to get all that stuff to fit, but it worked pretty good. So we're getting there, guys. One piece at a time, and we'll keep on rocking here.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, guys, we're just hammered down here, cutting out these headlight holes here. It's kind of weird. You know, you buy a one-piece front end. Now we're going to cut the living heck out of it. But honestly, this is really fun to do right here because they've really got the dimensions really close on all this stuff, and so things are just kind of falling into place. It's really isn't that custom or that hard of a thing to bolt these grill pieces on, the turn signals in, and all that stuff. Now on the turn signals here, I got some more work I'm going to do on these, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff on that, why I did what I done. And these look a little bit different than what the originals do, and I'll show you guys some more details on that here in just a minute. But I wanted to get these headlights hooked up and let you guys see what all this is going to look like. So check this out. All right, guys, so definitely want to give a big shout out to Ames Performance right there. So they worked with us on all of the chrome pieces you guys have seen on this front end. Everything fit fantastic. All this chrome trim, the grills work good, turn signals work good. All that stuff was very nice and very clean. So be sure to check them out. If you got anything Pontiac whatsoever, be sure to check out Ames Performance. How's it looking? Looking pretty good.
I dig it, bro.
Clark, the lights are twinkling.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yes, sir. Got the dome lights kicking, bro.
Jesse, good job, man.
Yeah, I like them, man.
Good job. All right, guys, so we're weighing the front end right now. And Mr. Jesse, big difference right there.
Yeah, it's a little bit heavier than we thought, but still,
right.
It's good.
So what was it with the hood off? Do you remember? Was it 56?
56 pounds, yeah.
Okay, so with all the mounts, we've got self-eject stuff on this thing, and all the bracketry, the grill,
The chrome side chrome.
all the chrome, and 4 headlights, 4 LED headlights, end up being 56 pounds with the hood off. If you add the hood, and this hood's pretty heavy, surprisingly, it ended up being 74 pounds total. But still, man, that thing over there is 200.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
So
Exactly.
that's still pretty good lick.
Yeah, pretty good look to have a street car look.
Yeah, and still have a grill and all that stuff. But
we could have saved weight by not going with the chrome or headlights and stuff like that.
but it just wouldn't look good, in my opinion.
Wouldn't
You know what I
look
mean?
good, man. You gotta have headlights too. You
Yeah.
know, got to have those.
That's for sure. So, yeah, man, there you guys go. And again, it does have 4 headlights in it total and stuff and all that. But we tried to keep everything as lightweight as possible on the mounts. And it does have the side chrome there and there on it too. But yeah, that's still a huge difference there. We're looking at over 100 pounds of savings right there just on that end.
Yeah.
So between doors and front end, gosh, I'm calculating it out right now. So let's talk about weight and let's talk about total savings. Yes, 272 pounds is what we knocked out of the car just by 3 different things. So let's talk about it here. All right, so the doors originally weighed 83 pounds a piece. If you times that by 2, that's 166 pounds worth of doors in this old girl. My goodness gracious. So we go to our new doors. They're 17 pounds a piece, times 2, that's 34. So we're looking at here a total of 132 savings just in the doors on this hot rod here. That's pretty cool right there. Moving on here at the front end, our original front end, that's that big heavy one right over there. That thing weighs 200 pounds, and I'm telling you what right now, that thing to hang it on the wall, you just about need a forklift because how big it is. Our new one with a hood on it is 74 pounds. We're looking at a total of 126 pounds of savings. That's fantastic right there. And last but not least, our dash. Our original dash was 20 pounds. Our new one is 6 pounds, and it was a total of 14 pounds of savings. So that's how we came up with our 272 pounds there that we knocked off the car, and that's pretty cool. So we're gonna keep on hammering down here, and heck yeah, man. Wait, right off the...
What's the famous words of Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Lightweight.
Lightweight.
Lightweight. All right, guys, so when you're lining the front end up, some tricks that you can do is take some angle iron or some aluminum angle. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, and you use it to make sure that you're lined up with your doors. And so you put it on both sides, up here at the top and down here at the bottom. You can clamp it on with quick clamps, C-clamps. You can even screw it to it if you want to. You'll just have to fill up the holes later. But this helps you hold everything into place, so that way you can go in behind it and weld all your mounts up and stuff, however you're gonna mount it. If you're gonna put Zeus fasteners in, if you're gonna bolt it on, if you're gonna pin it on, or whatever you're gonna do there. But that's how I done it. I put some mounts up here at the top, held it in place down there at the bottom with just some C-clamps and quick clamps, and then I started mounting it. So that's how I done it. It worked pretty decent, and we got things lined up there and was able to rock and roll with it. All right, guys, so let's talk about mounting this thing. So first off, you need to make you some sort of frame on the inside of it. I just used some chromoly 1/2" tubing and 3/8 tubing. That stuff seems to work really, really well. And how I found on these things, especially on this kind, you put you a pad in right here. Mine are bolted on. And I've done the same thing down here, and this one's hid because it's chrome and stuff. But a lot of folks actually fiberglass their pads on so that you don't have to bolt them on. I've been bolting them on so that way I can adjust things and move things. That's just what I've been doing, but you can always later on fiberglass it in and take the bolts out. It's pretty easy to do. Back here on this end, you'll want to put some sort of quarter turn fasteners in. Mine's hidden underneath this chrome and stuff, and I'll show you guys some shots in here in a minute. And then you'll need to mount something up here at the top. Some folks put some quarter turn fasteners down the whole entire side of it. I've found that that's really not needed. As long as you got something up here at the top and something down here on the side, it seems to work pretty good, and it's worked good for us so far. So anyways, that's how we mounted the front end, and we'll show you guys some details on that. Okay guys, so I'll show you all how we mounted this thing. And you can see these pads down here. Hannah, can you see that right there?
Yep.
These are the pads I'm talking about. I've got one here, and I've got one up in here and stuff. And then we've got some small ones down here along the bumper ever so often, okay? And as long as you spread that out, mount it all together, you'll keep all that held too. Now, one thing that is different, if you have a front end that the hood is molded in with the fenders, meaning there's already a hood on it. This one has one that you have to mount on it. Ones that already have hoods on it, this framework up here, you now have to have. All right, so now you have to have framework that not only is mounted down there, but it needs to come up here and mount up into this stuff as well to support the hood, or your hood will do all kinds of weird things. So that's what you gotta do there. You can see here, down here, that's how we mounted it down there at the bottom. Just use some 1/2" tubing, use some quarter turn fastener plates there, and we're in business. All right guys, so that's how the front end slides on and off right there. Normally I wouldn't have this stuff this big. You see how small we've got it out through there. The reason why this tube here is so big, because that's how the steel front end is mounted as well, and it had to be really beefy for that one. So that's why it is the way it is. Steel front end, it's mounted the same way. You guys can see there's the mounts for it. That's why we made this deal interchangeable. Now on the steel front ends, I've found that you have to make, now if you guys can see it, I had to make chromoly framework that went all the way around this thing and connected it all the way back over here to keep this thing from folding up, because it's so heavy. Even though you guys saw how cut out that it is, it would still just try to fold over on itself. So I had to make that framework there in order to hold it all up. On these fiberglass ones, you don't have to do that. All right guys, we just wrapped up mounting the doors and mounting the front end. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on that. Coming up here, we will show an episode as well on mounting the side windows for the doors, and also all the modifications we got to do to the hood. We actually got to extend the hood, and we got to cut the big hole out to fit around the motor and stuff. So we got a lot of cool videos coming out on that stuff as well, so you guys stay tuned. So definitely big shout out to VFN Fiberglass. We really enjoyed working with them, and we got a couple more videos we're going to do working with their fiberglass stuff, but hope you all enjoyed this one. I know it was cram-packed with a ton of information in this one, but you know, guys, good product, good stuff, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you guys soon at the racetrack.